What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another FM22 themed video. The time is ticking ever closer to the new release of the new game, and this is the time where save ideas run rampant. So what I've done is this is going to be a little mini series. I'm going to go into some of the more popular nations within the game of Football Manager and bring to you my 5 top club recommendations for who you can be in your saves. So we're starting off today with England. Let's jump in to team number 1. So guys, obviously we are starting off with a Premier League team, and we are starting off with Brentford. Having been promoted last season from the Championship, Brentford offer a lot for a team in the Premier League. If we take a look at Brentford, they are a very, very good club. They've got a very nice stadium, the Brentford Community Stadium, and obviously they are in the Premier League, so you have that Premier League money. I'm currently on an updated database. That's why they're showing in the Premier League in the year 2020. Just so you guys can see sort of how the division pans out. We've got Brentford here, as you can see, founded in 1889. Finances are rich. That is helped obviously by that Premier League money, and they have Thomas Frank as their manager. So they are a very good proposition. At the time of recording, Brentford are currently in the top half of the Premier League. I believe they are in 9th, having had a very, very good start to life in the Premier League. They beat Arsenal on the opening day on their return to the Premier League, or on their debut in the Premier League even, should I say, and have a very nice squad, I must admit. I actually don't think Brentford will struggle this year in real life, so you could take charge of Brentford in the game. I just wanted to run through a couple of things of the club, some of their key players, that sort of thing. Obviously they've got a 17,000 capacity stadium, which is quite nice to have, as modern tech in the stadium as well. A little bit of information for you. Fierce rivals are QPR and Fulham. It says media predictions 3rd, but that's because the database has been swapped around. They are not predicted to finish 3rd in the Premier League. Other rivals: Leyton Orient, Watford, Reading, and Luton, etc. Chairman loves the club. Ticket prices aren't too bad either. There are some legends, icons, and favoured personnel. Could you put your name there as the manager of Brentford? In terms of their facilities, though, guys, actually, let me highlight this a little bit more. There we go. Here is the general page. As you can see, long list of icons. If we go into their facilities, this is what we're looking at. Obviously I mentioned the 17,000 seater stadium. They got very good stadium condition, great undersoil heating, nice grass synthetic mix. But the thing that kind of lets Brentford down is their facilities, to be perfectly honest, for a Premier League club. Obviously, I understand, Brentford fans, this is your first season in the Premier League, so I'm sure investment will come off the pitch as well. But as things stand, average training facilities and below average youth facilities and a youth level of 0 is definitely something to invest into. Obviously, I know Brentford in real life are that moneyball team. They're going out and finding players for small values of money and selling them for much larger, and I completely agree with that sort of business model. But obviously this is the game of Football Manager, so this is probably an area that you will need to take a look at. If we go into their senior squad then, and we sort them by the most expensive, one of the ones that I wanted to bring your guys' attention to, pardon myself here, guys, I just need to update this skin. When you set up a new game, it sometimes has these issues. Ivan Toney, obviously the man who scores decent goals, a decent number of goals for Brentford. He's done very, very well since his transfer from Peterborough, and obviously has started life in the Premier League pretty well. Bit of a physical presence at 6'2". He's got great physicals, got great mentals as well, and his technicals are very good. Good on both feet. I think he's going to be a very good goal scorer for Brentford in the Premier League. So he is definitely one to look out for. I also want to shout out Pontus Jansson, obviously the former Leeds centre-half, playing very, very well for Brentford since he signed. And Christoph Ayer is obviously a fantastic signing from Celtic. I think he will be a very good defender for them in the season. Moving forward, they've got a couple of other players. Josh Da Silva is a young English player who you could take a look at. Rico Henry is electric on that left-hand side. They do have some very, very good players. That's why I've selected Brentford as team number 1. So the second team I want to speak to you guys about is Wayne Rooney's Derby County, or will they be your Derby County? At the time of recording, there is rumours basically that Derby will be docked points. So if you were to become the Derby manager at the start of FM22, you could start as Sheffield Wednesday did on this year's game on a -point start in the Championship, which is going to be very, very tough, as the Championship is still one of the most competitive leagues in world football. A little bit about Derby. Year founded 1884, professional status. Obviously, finances here is listed as secure. I can assure you they're not. Obviously, they've got Wayne Rooney as the manager at the moment, but that could well be yourself. If we go into their history and go into their overview, guys, they've got a rich history of Premier League football. 2 Premier League trophies, albeit in the 70s, an FA Cup. They've won the Championship 4 times, Community Shield. You can see it here, guys. But unfortunately, they've not been in the Premier League since the 2007-2008 season. And if they start on a -point differential, this could well be a tricky one for you to take over. In terms of some of their other facilities and stuff, here's a little bit of information on Derby County. Obviously, there's some legends in here. Brian Clough is listed as a legend. Obviously, we've got some of the icons here and favoured personnel. There will be some names in here that you guys will recognise. Paolo One Chop is one that's just stood out for me. What a legend this guy used to be. But that is it for Derby. I mean, obviously, local rivals Nottingham Forest, who actually currently do find themselves at the bottom of the Championship. It is a very interesting opportunity, I think, Derby, that does present itself a very good challenge. In terms of their facilities, they are actually very, very good. Excellent training facilities, excellent youth facilities, the youth level of 1, good recruitment as well. Derby should not be in the financial difficulties that they are in. This is kind of what has been set out to be stopped in football, but unfortunately you see clubs in this sort of financial state all of the time, and unfortunately it could cost them this season. Could you be the person to overcome the potential -points at the start of the season, keep Derby in the league, and then rebuild them as a club and take them back to the Premier League? That's why I've selected them as team number 2. Next up, we have Wigan Athletic, obviously a team that have recently, and I'm going to say recently because it's still within the last 10 years, I believe, won an FA Cup, and they now find themselves into League One. And again, this is another club that has fallen foul of poor management higher up in the club, not necessarily on the playing side of things. Their financial state has been ridiculous. They were purchased last year. That takeover was approved by the EFL, and they now find themselves looking forward and trying to move back up the League One table. Obviously, I believe at the time of recording, I think they're in the top 2-3 spaces. And obviously now they have a bit more financial security off the pitch. Things can definitely start moving forward on the pitch. I'm going to go over to that history. Here is that Emirates FA Cup. It was 2013, so as I said, definitely under 10 years ago that they won an FA Cup, and they now find themselves down in League One. Much similar to Portsmouth, but I think Wigan is slightly more of a challenge. To my knowledge, Wigan is a rugby town. That's kind of why I've gone for Wigan over the clubs like like Portsmouth, sorry, or Bolton Wanderers. I think Wigan offer that little bit more of a challenge for you because of the reputation difference potentially. Obviously, they have won that FA Cup, and they have been a Premier League side in recent years. They were relegated from the Premier League, as you can see here, in 2013, and then they've had a torrid time down out the Championship, back into the Championship, relegated again, promoted again, and obviously they now find themselves in League One, looking to get that promotion back to the Championship. In terms of their profile, guys, in terms of their general, sorry, let's go on to here. As you can see, first rivals are Bolton Wanderers, Preston, Blackburn, and Burnley, all because they are local. Dave Whelan, the chairman, is listed as a legend, and so is Roberto Martinez, obviously former player and then manager for Wigan. Some other interesting names on here for me: Emerson Boyce, Paul Jewell, Ben Watson obviously scored the goal that won them the FA Cup. Jason Roberts is another one that I recognise. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. They've got these household names, or what I would consider household names. Leighton Baines, another one as well, as a former player. Wigan used to be a team that you would see on Match of the Day every week, and I think you could be the manager to take them back to that level. For team number 4, we move down into League 2, and we have Sutton United. Obviously, they were promoted from the National League and find themselves in League 2, and I think this is going to be a very, very difficult challenge for somebody. This is the lowest professional league that you will have in England. Their professional status in this database is semi-professional, but I can assure you when you take them over in FM22, sorry, they will be a professional club. You have to be in League 2. This is a very interesting challenge. Obviously, they've been promoted. Their history is not great. They've only won the National League once previously in 2016. Won the National League South in 2016. There you go. So they find themselves without a rich history, founded in 1898. Not really as trophy laden as some of the other clubs that we've shown you so far. But this is a very interesting challenge, as I mentioned, coming into League 2. League 2 is a very tough division to get out of as well. I know there's a lot of promotion spots. But there's some big teams in League 2 this season. Your likes of Bradford, Bristol Rovers are a big team. Exeter, Forest Green are also doing pretty well. There are, as I said, some bigger teams in League 2 that you would expect to do pretty well. Scunthorpe have usually been a bit higher. Swindon are a big club, but I know have had some financial turmoil themselves. It's a ridiculous challenge. They've been promoted out of the conference, first season as a professional club, and you take them to glory. That's all I need to say, really. In terms of their generals, as you can see here, nothing, definitely a list of names that I don't recognize anywhere near as much as some of the others. They've got an interesting squad, but the facilities, again, sort of lacking, as you could tell from this stadium picture here of Gander Green Lane in Sutton. But it's a very interesting prospect. They are a small club within that division, and it's kind of what you can shape from it, taking them from the bottom all the way to the top. And it wouldn't be a video of mine talking about teams to manage in the English leagues if we didn't head over to North Wales to talk about Wrexham. Obviously, the team that have been purchased by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, I think is how you say that guy's name. I always forget his name, so the fact that I've remembered it this time is a start. Obviously, they were the new owners. They purchased Wrexham last year, I think it was last year anyway, and will be looking to take them forward. It's such a weird scenario that they've purchased Wrexham, but I think they can actually genuinely start bringing more attention to the club. Obviously, they've already got the sponsor this year of TikTok. Their kit is sponsored by TikTok, obviously a massive international corporation. Again, driving that revenue in, and you'd like to think that sponsorship wouldn't be possible without the new owners. Obviously, they've been very vocal. They've made some good moves, bringing in certain players from higher up in the leagues. League structures. I believe they brought in what's his name, Mullin. Was he the League 2 top goal scorer last season from Cambridge? And I believe he's now their striker. They're going for it, guys. They want to be in those football leagues, not the National League. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see what happens with Wrexham in FM22, to see if they do have this sort of sugar daddy appearance that you would go to expect with Hollywood movie stars in it. In terms of their history, they have won League 1 previously. When was that? 1978 they won League 1. They've won the Papa John's Trophy as well in 2005, an FA Trophy. Obviously the JD Welsh Cup, that's not a competition that they play in anymore to my knowledge. So you can see, guys, with the backing of Hollywood A-listers, can they find their way back into League 1? It's been a while. They were relegated from League 1 in 2004, 2005, and it's been a very drastic drop ever since. You will take control of them in the National League, and is this something that you would like to do? This is a great club for me. I think that I've been to Wrexham for a game when I was working at Bristol Rovers. Their support was actually pretty good. Their stadium's not bad, to be honest, especially at that level. So I think you could definitely go in and do a job at Wrexham. You'd like to think with the corporate money, you could definitely look at improving these facilities. The stadium's not too bad, as I said. The racecourse ground, I've been there. It's not too bad. It looks very nice from this photo here. I've sat right up at the top. As I said, very big stadium for the division. So hopefully if you can play some good football, you can bring some ticket money in. They've got a good squad for that division. It's what you do beyond that. And obviously, who wouldn't want to have Deadpool as your chairman, right? I know having David Beckham's pretty cool when you're into Miami, but having Ryan Reynolds there as your chairman, I think that would be pretty cool as well. But that is the end of today's video. They are my 5 teams that you should manage or take a look at managing in England within the English footballing pyramid. We are going to take a look at teams from France, Italy, Germany, Spain as well, the main top nations. They will be in videos coming soon. But if you have enjoyed today's video, guys, don't forget to drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here for daily Football Manager content. We've got some interesting stuff coming up as we build up to FM22, and hopefully you won't want to miss out on it, so please do hit that subscribe button. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you on another one very, very soon.